Good evening everyone. My name is Rinshul Chandra. I'm a third year undergraduate student of the Department of Chemical Engineering, enrolled in its dual degree course. I'm from Patna. I reside in Radhakrishnan Hall of Residence. I'm contesting for the post of Vice President, Technology Students Gymkhana, Indian Institute of Technology Kharagpur for the academic session 2012-2013.
Are there any questions on the introduction? Rinshul, you may begin your SOP.
The Vice President, as the most crucial link between the institute administration and the student community, should be a motivating leader, a dedicated team player, and an efficient organizer. During my 3 years at IIT Kharagpur, I have been involved in numerous curricular and extracurricular activities. I have been a part of Entrepreneurship Cell IIT Kharagpur for the past 3 years, whose aim is to promote the entrepreneurial culture within the campus and beyond. As a head of the corporate and media relations team of Entrepreneurship Cell, I was successful in raising sponsorship of 17.95 lakh rupees. I took the initiative to launch Startin, an exclusive internship portal for the students of IIT Kharagpur, which resulted in 154 internships last year. As a reflection of my efficient organizational abilities and my dedication towards eCell, my team chose to appoint me as the overall coordinator of the Global Entrepreneurship Summit 2012. During this period, the GES rose to become the largest student-organized entrepreneurial event in the entire country. Apart from my role in Entrepreneurship Cell, I have also been engaged in several extracurricular activities under the Technology Students Gymkhana. As a team player, I have been a part of RK Hall's inter-hall gold-winning basketball team, bronze-winning choreography team, quiz team, and product design team. I was appointed as the co-captain of RK Hall Illumination 2011, which won joint bronze this year. Besides this, I have been a part of a number of medal-winning teams during Open IIT, Springfest, and Kshitij events. I have 6 internships and projects to my credit over the last 3 years. I have 6 internships and projects to my credit over the last 3 years, and am one of the 4 students to be hired as a summer intern by Hindustan Unilever, which is one of the most sought after internship opportunities in campus. Alongside my involvement in extracurricular activities, I have maintained a CGPA of 8.74. Successful in making a department change to chemical engineering at the end of my first year. This successful balancing between various curricular and extracurricular activities highlights my efficient time management skills. It has also reinforced the qualities of leadership, organizational abilities, and teamwork in me, which are necessary for the post of Vice President. I believe I have the zeal and the confidence to represent the interests of the students at all times, and thus discharge the duties of the Vice President effectively. As well as my academics.
What are some of those duties which you have been doing as in your 3 years over here? Could you please enlist it for all of us?
As a member of Entrepreneurship Cell, I was the overall head of the Global Entrepreneurship Summit. Besides this, I was the head of the corporate and media relations team of entrepreneurship cell in my third year. I was also the coordinator of the web and design teams in my third year. Apart from this, I have served as the co-captain of RK Hall Illumination last year, which won joint bronze. Besides this, I've been a part of several teams and I've headed them successfully in the entrepreneurship cell.
As you can see from the information given regarding you, you have told that you have got a sponsorship of 17.95 lakhs.
Yes, sir.
Can you just list 2 challenges that you faced, during this collecting that sponsorship, and how did you overcome the challenges to do this?
Yes, sir. Firstly, I would like to tell you that this 17.95 lakh rupees is my individual contribution towards the organization. Secondly, two of the most difficult challenges which our sponsorship head faces are to convince companies to sponsor an event in IIT Kharagpur owing to its dislocational advantage. And apart from that, one needs to have dedicated efforts round the year, approach companies, contact them, fix appointments and meet them round the year to bring this total sponsorship amount. It requires lots of dedication and team effort as well.
Rinshul, you say that you were the head of corporate and media relations team in your third year, right?
Yes, sir.
I just have a small doubt. I was going to the GES 2012 website. It says that there is only a post of corporate relations and there are 2 heads, Rinshul, Chandra and Ankit Bhatia. And it says there is a media relations post which is a separate post held by Ms. Pranita Padalwaj.
Yes,
so there is some issue.
Co-heads of the corporate and media relations team. Pranita was majorly responsible for handling media relations, but we worked as a team and I was also part of several media confirmation deals. Besides this, the media head was also responsible for several deals in the corporate team.
True, Rinshul, well said.
Team effort.
I know. A head in any organization, be it GES, be it Springfest or Shitij, if he works in one particular facet, he's also responsible to contribute to other facets. What I'm saying is, when a website clearly mentions there are 2 separate posts, you should not mention a combination of the 2 posts in your SOP.
Sir, the team is called corporate and media relations team. We work as a team. We have three heads, including me, and I have also worked in media relations throughout the year. But since 2 of us are majorly responsible for handling corporate relations around the year, our name was mentioned on the website. And besides that, I was also the coordinator of the web and media design teams, and I was also responsible for the making of that website.
Prashant.
Right. So you have been working with ESL, entrepreneurship, funding, etc., etc. So I hope you will be following the current news also. So apart from your groundwork that you have done inside IIT, I would like to know what do you know about the recent proposed financial bill amendment by our finance minister, in which there is a tax on angel funding in particular things. How do you propose to tackle? Because I am sure even if you are selected as a VP, you would be taking care of your juniors who would be handling the ESL team. How do you propose to tackle such particular tax? And do you know any idea what is the amount of tax on such angel funding in India?
So I have not read the generality. Apart from that, the fundings we facilitate from the institute are free of these taxes. The one of our BPAN competitions called Contribute 2011 has an institute funding under TIDES, the Technology Incubation Entrepreneurial Training Society. That is a funding amount of up to 45 lakh rupees, and that has no tax from the central government.
Rinshul, just to clear to you, now angel funding is being taxed at 30%. Till now it was tax-free, now it is being taxed at 30%. So the VCs and the angel investors have to be convinced now in a special way, so you have to take care of that.
Yes.
Rinshul, I have a question. Rinshul.
Yes, sir.
So, assuming that you get elected as the VP, thinking the kind of nature of diversified responsibilities you need to take up, do you think actually memory is required, or you can just, if you don't have something recalled in your memory, you can go and refer back and just get back to, saying the people that this is what I read back. Do you think that an exact flash memory is required, actually?
Yes, definitely. I can always look up something and let everybody know.
Oh.
You had a significant role in conceiving.
The first proposal which was mentioned by him will be discussed for a time of 15 minutes.
Can't you kindly give him the panel?
So we'll be devoting 15 minutes to each proposal. I hope this is strictly followed now. We have to finish the SOP by 11 at any cost.
As a candidate for the post of Vice President Technology Student Gymkhana for the academic session. As a candidate for the post of Vice President Technology Student Gymkhana for the academic session 2012-2013, I propose the following. Number one, to create a public relations cell to ensure that developments in the institute and achievements of its students and faculty are highlighted through the appropriate channels. Number two, improvements in the functioning of the training and placement cell to facilitate smoother working. Number three, the creation of an application cell which will be a dedicated group aimed to guide and support students interested in applying for higher studies and research abroad. Number four, changes in the basic structural functioning of the library for the benefit of students of IIT Kharagpur. Number five, creation of Cultural Technology Dramatic Society, CTDS, which will consist of all the dramatic societies promoting the diverse culture in vernacular languages spoken by the students of the campus under Technology Student Gymkhana. And number six, changes be made in the way postgraduate MES tenders are awarded.
Before we begin discussing the first proposal, there will be some sheets of paper which will be distributed among the audience. If you have any questions for any of the candidates, please write it on them. We'll try to take it at the end of the SOP. So, whichever candidate your answer question is targeted to, please mention his name. If it is for both the candidates, then mention both their names. Rinshul, you may take a discussion of our proposal.
I'll discuss my first proposal. I propose to create a public relations cell to ensure that developments in the institute and achievement of its student and faculty are highlighted through appropriate channels. The need, IIT Kharagpur is an institute of national importance, and thus it is imperative that proper channels of communication are maintained between the institute and media channels and the community at large. What's the implementation part? Number one, publicizing the achievements of IIT Kharagpur through different media channels to increase the brand image of the institute. This publicity will be done on three different levels: institute, faculty and students. Number two, conduction of an all India conclave under the aegis of IIT Kharagpur. Number three, creation of an online repository of research papers published in the institute. Number four, making of an institute brochure which shall be circulated in media houses, corporates and colleges. And number five, creation of official social media profiles of IIT Kharagpur, including Facebook, Twitter and YouTube channels. The sixth proposal, part of the proposal, is the creation of a newsletter about institute development and achievements. Apart from the proposal, the panelists also have annexures and the groundwork which has been done on the proposal.
Rinshul, are you aware of a thing called kudos?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me who started the entire concept of kudos and what is the process of putting up an achievement on the kudos page?
I spoke to the current Dean Planning and Coordination, Dr. B.K. Mathur. So he told me that the kudos section is there on the official website of IIT Kharagpur.
When was it started?
Dr. B.K. Mathur did not inform me that. But apart from that, he told me that this part of the proposal, the conception of a PR cell, would also be put up on the website, and then the kudos section.
I want to know the effectiveness of kudos.
Yes, the kudos section on the official website of IIT Kharagpur covers some of the students' achievements, and mostly they cover the achievements of students in different competitions. But this proposal is not just restricted to the students of IIT Kharagpur, but also various institute developments and initiatives at the institute level.
Yeah, Rinshul, are there provisions in our institute website to display all these information that you are catering to?
Yes, sir. I spoke to Ms. Shreyashi Ghosh, the current corporate communication executive at the Office of Alumni Affairs and International Relations. She herself mentioned that she faces difficulty in collecting and organizing all this information, and that there is a need of a public relations cell comprising of students' body.
Where does the difficulty arise from? For instance, in kudos, what is happening is that the information is not coming in the first place. As in, students are not forwarding it. There are enough publicity, but students are not forwarding it. So where is the difficulty in handling this coming in? Is it in terms of too many information coming in, there are not sufficient personnel, or is it in terms of finding out what information to put in?
The problems are both. Firstly, I would like to tell you that there are 11 notices on the kudos section in the last 1.5 years, and there are several student achievements and faculty achievements which need to be mentioned and publicized well in different media channels. Not just in the institute, also outside the institute.
Rinshul, you said that there will be some conduction of All India Conclave in participation of contacted any alumni?
Yes, I've contacted several alumni. The list is with the proposal. I've contacted. As you can see, you have copies of mails which were sent to different alumni, including Mr. Ashish Junjunwala from RK Hall of Residence, Mr. Shitish Khurana from Rajendra Prasad Hall of Residence, and Mr. Ankit Kawat from RK Hall of Residence. All these alumni have agreed to the conception of such conclaves. Apart from this, I've also done a survey among students regarding the concept of this conclave, and 75% of the students have voted that such a conclave should be conducted.
The proposal that you are suggesting, it sounds pretty much magnanimous, okay? And the composition of the cell,
yes, sir,
includes primarily you have written, okay, at least the top hierarchy, 4 of them are part of the Institute Development Program.
Yes, sir.
Can you name these people?
Yes, sir. The Managing Director of Institute Development Program is Mr. Chandra. The Executive of the Vice President is Mr. Pratik Agarwal right now. And then the other names are given on the backside of the annexure. They are Ms. Shreyashi Ghosh, the Corporate Communication Executive, and Mr. P.K. Sharma, the IT Program.
Fine. Okay. My point is this. So they are already holding very important positions, at least three of the administrative people, and part of the institutional development program. That itself has a lot of objectives and a lot of other work for them as well.
Yes, sir.
And how much of this time do you think they can devote to this particular purpose, and how much of a priority would this particular proposal of yours be in terms as compared to the Institute Development Program?
Firstly, I have met Mr. Chinna Buddapalli and Ms. Shreyashi Ghosh at the Department of Alumni Affairs and International Relations, and this proposal of conception of a public relations cell is one of the major focus objectives of the Institutional Development Program. Mr. Chinna Buddapalli is himself very enthusiastic about the conception of a public relations cell, and he has endorsed that this entire cell and its budget would be funded by the director of the institute.
Rinshul, my first question is, apart from kudos, is there any other existing portal in IIT Kharagpur to publicize the achievements of students or whoever else? Students, alumni, professors, is there any other portal?
Yes, sir, there are several such portals. For example, one portal is www.iitkgp.org. That's the official portal for highlighting student achievements amongst alumni. But what I am proposing is that...
Fine.
Yes.
So now I have a follow-up question to this. Do you know the responsibilities of Ms. Shreyashi Ghosh as per her position in the Alumni Affairs?
Yes, sir.
Can you please highlight the duties or responsibility of Ms. Shreyashi Ghosh?
Firstly, she is responsible for the creation of lots of documents and about the various activities and events which occur in IIT Kharagpur and publicizing amongst the alumni. Also, she is also the corporate communication executive of the Office of Alumni Affairs and International Relations, and she is responsible for the dissemination of various activities and events amongst media channels. When I met her, she personally felt the need for such a public relations cell. The student representatives help her out in carrying out these initiatives. But apart from that, there are several other 5 objectives which the public relations cell is fulfilling, which will create a better brand image for the institute.
Rinshul, what I'm trying to put forth is, to put forth the academic achievement of professors is a proper channel right now.
Yes.
All the professors can go to the HODs, which can again forward all the information, all the achievements that the professors have done to Ms. Shreyashi Ghosh. Similarly, all the achievements of students in IIT Kharagpur are given to the PR chair, who can again give the information to Ms. Shreyashi Ghosh. Similarly, all such achievements are already forwarded to her, and it's a responsibility and duty as per her post in Alumni Affairs cell to give it to them to the media houses. So why is there a need? Because I think we have also spoken, we are all ex-office bearers, we've spoken to her, and the Alumni Affairs cell tells us there is no need of any such communities when she has all the responsibilities under her purview.
I would beg to differ on that. I myself went and met both Mr. Chandra and Ms. Shreyashi Ghosh, and they felt that there was a need of a student representative body. Secondly, this entire proposal also encompasses nodal points. The nodal points would be the HODs of each department, the head of departments. I have spoken to head of departments of 8 departments, and they have all agreed that they could be the nodal points for
nodal points.
But had it been the case, then our initiatives of both faculty and students would not have been that well publicized as it could be.
No, they are. As per the responsibilities of the HOD, it is one of the responsibilities.
I'll give you a very good example of that. There's a case of deferred placement program. That was an initiative which IIT Kharagpur had taken 3 years back, but that was not well publicized amongst media channels. When IIT Bombay last year initiated this proposal, and entrepreneurship cell IIT Kharagpur helped them in getting up the proposal, and they publicized it. So it was mentioned across all media channels, including print media partners and online media channels, that the DPP, the deferred placement program, is for the first time being implemented in IIT Bombay, while it was there for 3 years back.
It seems to me that the problem is that the PR chair exists for this very work that students can send in their achievements with the PR chair, but the students are not aware that it didn't reach the PR chair. So why do you need an 8-member cell when only 11 student achievements were highlighted in the past 1.5 years, as you mentioned?
Firstly,
for that, why do you need an 8-member team?
Firstly, I'd like to tell you that the responsibilities of the the public relations chair technology through the Gymkhana are aimed to provide information about the various activities of the Gymkhana. This cell is not just about the technology student Gymkhana, but also the various facilities amongst the institute, its various initiatives, the achievements of the students and the faculty. All these responsibilities are not encompassed for the PR chair of the Gymkhana. Besides this, I've spoken to the current PR chair, Mr. Sangin Chakraborty, and one of the ex-PR chairs, Mr. Anupam Singh, and they too are of the view that such a cell should be conceived.
Rinshul, are you aware that a message was put, that a mail was sent and a message was put up on DC++ for students to specifically send their achievements to the PR chair?
That's for Gymkhana activities.
No, that was for all activities, both inside the Gymkhana and outside. And there were activities of students which were reported to Ms. Shreyashi Ghosh and which were published.
Sir, as you can see, the public relations chair is just responsible for one of the activities. There are 6 objectives enlisted in my document about the responsibilities of the PR cell. The public relations chair of the Gymkhana is also one of the members of the 8-member body. And as you can see on the second page of the proposal, the responsibilities and the duties of each of the members are clearly enlisted. There are 2 general secretaries which are appointed by the vice president in consultation with the MD IDP and the previous general secretaries who head the team. They consist of the public relations chair of the Gymkhana, the content developer for preparing the written documents, the video secretary, the design in charge, the website development head, and the events head.
Rinshul, are the current academic achievements of students ever highlighted across the student community and outside IIT Kharagpur?
No, sir. The current academic achievements of both students and faculty are not properly highlighted in various media channels. I've spoken to 3 media houses: Times of India, Dainik Jagran, and Inadu, the most popular state paper of Andhra Pradesh, and they 3 have written mails back to me that we need such a proper media channel for publication of lots of news about IIT Kharagpur.
What you just said, Rinshul, what you have just mentioned, that you have sent mails to 3 newspaper houses and they have replied to you that you don't have the information about the events of IIT Kharagpur. You are just demeaning Ms. Shreyashi Ghosh's work. Her work is to contact the media channel. Please let me complete my question. Number 1, what I think, it's my opinion that you are demeaning Mrs. Shreyashi Ghosh's work. She has been taken responsibility very well since the last 1 year. Number 1. Number 2, with the PR chair, with the HODs and the kudos thing and Ms. Shreyashi Ghosh in place, can you please list some specific achievements which have not been highlighted in the last 1 year? Can you listen?
Are they allowed to comment? I mean, are panelists allowed to comment?
It's my opinion.
No, because I think he commented. So, I think
It's more of a question rather than a comment. Exactly. Making any sort of comment about
His opinion. This is his opinion, what he thinks, right? So he cannot comment it in a public forum. What he thinks about it. This is his opinion.
Exactly. So, Rinshul, let us listen to what the candidate has to say rather than arguing on ourselves.
But I would like to say on a public forum that Ms. Shreyashi Ghosh has done a commendable job over the last year. But on meeting her myself, she was of the view that she needs more student representatives who can provide the proper information about disseminating those information to the media channels. And this is just one part of the objectives which I mentioned.
Fine. What do you have to say regarding the newspapers? I'm saying Ms. Yoshi Ghosh contacts all the newspapers. How can you say the same newspaper, TOI, Dainik Jagran, is lying back and saying we don't have information when she is giving the information every single day? How can this happen?
Firstly, Ms. Yoshi Ghosh was herself of the view that she needs more hands in doing the entire job. Apart from that, I conducted a general survey among media houses that such information needs to be disseminated amongst the media channels as well.
Okay, Rinshul, you have
Rinshul, I have a question. Rinshul, I have a question.
to be implemented in this in your proposal. The first is about publicizing the achievements of IIT Kharagpur. We have mentioned about growth, and you yourself mentioned a lot about facilities in the institute website about publicizing things. Second, okay, I'm skipping the second thing. The third is about creation of an online repository. As far as I am aware, I think there is provision for that in the in our central library. Fourth is institute making an institute brochure, which again the alumni office is making and distributing to the alumni again. Fifth is creation of social media profiles. The Gymkhana is doing a commendable job. Active following on Facebook as well as a new YouTube channel has come up. And the sixth is again newsletter. Again the Gymkhana in association with Chandra has also started that. So out of the six things that you have mentioned here, five is already in place.
Samar, let him answer the question first. After that, he'll answer the next question.
For the second point, the conduction of an all-India conclave, which you missed out.
I purposely missed that out. I wanted
It's a new initiative, firstly, and secondly, with the creation of an online repository of research papers, it's in the OPAC library, the digital library, and what I propose is something which is of the format of Science Direct, where the professors, not just from IIT Kharagpur, but also colleges outside India, can look up these research papers and increase the research status of IIT Kharagpur. Okay, Rinshul, let me complete my answer. Fourthly, the making of an institute brochure. Alumni cell is doing a great job in making an institute brochure. That's for the alumni of IIT Kharagpur. As you can see, the three stakeholders are clearly mentioned on the paper. They are the media houses, the corporates, and the colleges. This is not direct. And fifth, let me counter that. The social media profiles of YouTube channel, Facebook, and Twitter are for the technology student Gymkhana. They do not include the students, the faculty's achievements. This is an official social media profile of IIT Kharagpur, which would be maintained round the year to include all these activities.
Will videos be uploaded on the YouTube channel by professors of
Yes.
This is the last question regarding the proposal. This is the last question.
If you properly read the proposal, sir, it's clearly mentioned that the YouTube channel would also include professors' videos on different new topics, contemporary topics, which is the case in lots of colleges outside India.
NPTEL or NPTEL lectures
Sir, please. The NPTEL lectures on different courses curriculum. As you can see in the standard, lots of good foreign technical universities, such as Stanford, MIT, Harvard, the professors also give their opinions on lots of different contemporary topics, say carbon credits. So these videos would be on those topics, and that would include. Let me answer.
Rinshul, I have a question. Rinshul.
This would go in a long way in the branding of IIT Kharagpur, which is one of the major objectives of the institutional development.
Rinshul, I have a question. Rinshul, I have a question. See, assuming that you have got a lot of information from the panelists about the existing system based on your proposal, even assuming that such systems are existing, do you think there's anything wrong in improving, identifying certain problems in the existing system and improving upon that? Do you think anything is wrong about
Yes,
that?
sir. As you have already mentioned, there's always a scope of improvement, and most of these channels exist, I agree, but they do not encompass all the facilities, all the stakeholders. What I'm doing is having a unified PR cell, unified public relations cell of IIT Kharagpur, which disseminates all kinds of achievements and information of not just students, but also faculty and students.
Rinshul, you will sit down. We have already discussed the proposal for 20 minutes now. We now have
My second proposal is, I propose the following improvements in the functioning of the training and placement cell to facilitate smoother working. Number one, increase the size of the placement committee to 12, including the vice president. Number two, increase the role and responsibilities of the departmental representatives and enhance their functions to A. Organizing a crash course for department students in relevant fields. B. Maintaining a detailed database of companies and the experiences of the students who get selected and shortlisted in them. Number C, tracking the off-campus placements, application and admission to various universities at the departmental level. The third point of the proposal is providing professional career counseling to final year students in the months of July, August and September for the academic year 2012-2013. For subsequent years, career counseling will be provided to pre-final year students in the months of March and April. Number 4, initiate regular meetings of the placement committee with professors in charge of training and placement in the departments. And number 5, I'll endeavor to increase the participation of startups in the placement session, banking on my experience in startup.
Rinshul, your first point, increasing the size of the placement committee to 12. Is that a proposal? You know, the process of increasing the size of placement committee, it is completely in the hands of professor in charge. If the professor in charge feels that there is need of more students, he can immediately hire them. Do you think that your first point in one of the very important proposals of training and placement section should be increasing the size of placement committee to 12, including the vice president?
Yes, sir. I personally met Professor S.K. Srivastava, the professor in charge of the placement cell, and he was of the opinion that the size of the placement committee should be increased. Also,
I have a follow-up question.
I'll request you once, kindly see the annexure 1 on the number of students who have registered for placements has increased in the past 4 years. I've done a thorough survey, and on the basis of this survey, when I showed it to Professor Srivastava, he was of the opinion too that the size of the placement committee should be increased to 12. I've not completed my answer, sir. I've not completed my answer. I understand that.
Rinshul, can you explain that?
Let me complete my answer, sir.
Rinshul, I just have a follow-up question. This is my last question. I just wanted to know that, is this a proposal or the wish of a professor in charge? If the professor in charge feels he can do that, it should not be a proposal. That's it.
No, sir. I would beg to differ on that. It's a part of my proposal on placement cell. There are 5 objectives of that. This is one part of the proposal. I have done thorough groundwork on what should be the exact size, the optimum size for the next year, given the fact that the number of students who are registering for placements has increased over the past 4 years. I also quoted a figure to Professor Srivastava, and he was also of the opinion that the size should be optimally increased to 12 next year.
Rinshul, can you explain that including the department representatives, how can it improve the placements of PG and research scholars?
Yes, sir. I also wish to include research scholars, representatives from each department as a committee of departmental representatives. They would be doing 3 more objectives, apart from their objective of compiling a database of contacts and preparing a company brochure of the respective department. These 3 objectives of the departmental representative, which I am trying to increase, are clearly mentioned in the proposal.
Rinshul, you have said that there would be a professional career counseling. So,
yes.
Who would be these professionals? Have you talked to any of the firm, or are they ready to do it?
Yes, sir. I've spoken to 4 firms. I have confirmation. I have spoken to 4 career counseling firms. I have the list. I can give it to you. They have also sent me confirmation mails and the basic structure of career counseling. The companies, all the 4 companies, are interested in having a tie-up with IIT Kharagpur and doing career counseling for all the students, say 1800, who register for placements next year.
First of all, I'm not saying you have done a commendable job with the background work which you have provided to us.
Thank you, sir.
Secondly, you say that there will be an increase in the participation of startups in the placement session. Is there anything you have done or your prior experience which will help you on this?
Yes, sir. As I've already mentioned in my statement of purpose, I started an internship portal for the students of IIT Kharagpur. I have a comprehensive list of over 180 startups who are interested in hiring students from IIT Kharagpur. I have already forwarded this list of startups to the current placement committee members, and they are doing a startup camp in the coming 2 weeks. Apart from this, other ideas which I shall be discussing with the current placement committee members.
Rinshul, I have a question. Rinshul, as I could see from your proposal, you have told that you are going to organize, you are going to increase the role and responsibilities of the departmental representative.
Yes, sir.
Do you think this will be really effective in increasing the placement opportunities?
Yes, sir. This would increase the coordination of the departments and the placement committee members. I understand that there are 10 placement committee members and they have lots of work around the year. So if we increase the efficiency of the departmental representatives, they would be supporting hands to the placement committee, and this would definitely increase the placement scenario of IIT Kharagpur.
Rinshul. I'm talking about the second point in your proposal. You're saying you're going to organize crash courses for department students in relevant fields.
Yes, sir.
As far as I'm aware, this is already happening in a lot of departments. I can quote mechanical engineering and my own department to be already having such sessions. Secondly, making a detailed database of companies and experience of students, even that is already present, both for internships and for placements. So what is the new thing you are doing in this proposal?
Firstly, the two departments which you mentioned, the departments of humanities and social sciences and the mechanical engineering department, are the only two departments out of the 20 departments which do a crash course. On the last page of the annexure, I have done a survey amongst 8 departments, have spoken to the head of departments, the professors in charge of training and placement, and they are more than agreeable to doing crash courses for the final year students to brush up their courses.
Do you know the process?
Let me complete my answer. I'm sure this was also a part of your proposals. This was a part of your proposals. And the second answer to your question regarding maintaining databases, this work is being done in the form of TNPpedia by the Scholars Avenue. This thus covers the top 50 companies and not all the companies. What I'm trying to do is prepare an extensive database of each and every company who comes to IIT Kharagpur about the questions which are asked in the interviews, in the preliminary tests, so that the coming batches are better prepared for placement next year.
Are you aware? Are you aware of the new training and placement website and ERP system that is coming into place?
Yes, sir. I've already spoken to one of the current placement committee members.
Fine. Now, the follow-up question is that new website already has in place or will have in place this detailed database of companies and the stages of students. I think half the points that you mentioned in the proposals are ideas of the current placement team which are already going to be held in the next 1 month.
Sir,
what is new?
I would like to differ on that. The detailed database of companies who recruited students, this would include the questions being asked by the students in the interviews of the companies and the answers given by them so as to better prepare the coming batches for placements.
Rinshul,
this is not something. Please, let me complete my answer. Sir, please let me complete my answer. This is something which is not being done by the ERP which is being proposed for the next year.
Okay, Rinshul, what my point is,
yes, sir.
It has not been done till now.
Yes,
but
sir.
what I'm saying is, with your interaction with the current placecom team, you
Yes,
might
sir.
have come to know that with Prateek's proposal, which is going to be implemented very soon regarding
Yes,
the new TNP website and ERP, it is already have been discussed in the current placecom team. Half the points in this proposal will be already there in the website. It is something which is going to happen in the next 2 weeks' time. Why is there in the proposal which is going to be implemented next year?
Sir, firstly, we'll be having an extensive database of the companies, but not an extensive database of the questions which are being asked by the...
It has been discussed among the current placecom team, you might have known.
So firstly, when I met all the current placement committee members, this was not told to me by anybody. I discussed these ideas with lots of the current placement committee members, and now this told to me. When I came to have a meeting with you, like the concept of the ERP system was not told to me by you.
Rinshul, have you stated in your proposal that I will create a new TNP website and a portal? Did you state that?
No, sir, I did not do that, and I understand that lots of my ideas are being currently pursued by the Vice President and the current placement committee member. That's why I have not included all those ideas in my proposal.
Going by the current procedure, recently it has been brought to notice. Do you know that any department, center or school being omitted from the procedure of the placements?
Yes, sir. There are 2 schools and 1 school and 1 center which has not been included in the current job notification form. One of them is GS Sanyal School of Telecommunications and the other is Advanced Technology Development Center. Both of these are not mentioned in the job notification forms.
Rinshul, so this will be the last question on this proposal.
Rinshul, have been talking about departmental...
No, the question is from here. This is the last question.
We have been talking about departmental representatives and other people and
yes, sir.
Maintaining extra database. But why haven't you included the idea that when there are departments with very small number, with very specific companies coming to their departments, take any department, whether it is law school, whether it is water resource department, why haven't you removed the federal the central structure and allowed them, or you propose them to let them do the calling and contact the companies instead of putting them into the long procedure of central TNP? Why don't you have a proposal instead of just making the representatives, but rather asking them to work themselves. Why haven't you done this?
So
What's your
actually,
idea?
lots of clashes of companies. Lots of companies come for several departments, and then in that case, they would be individually contacted by each department, each center and school. This is not something which is practical, but
Rinshul, I'm sorry, but this is very much practical. For example, the law school, the management school, and
Yes,
some
sir.
other departments have been doing that. And also, you must be knowing that after April is over, when the session is over, the professors are doing this same thing at the end for their own department, for their own students. So, if this has to be done 4 months or 5 mons before, by including a federal structure, I think that would be workable, and which we have not included.
firstly,
I would just like to comment that if a company receives 5 mails from 5 different departments from an institute, don't you think it defames an institute?
Firstly, as sir said, I've already mentioned it to you, if a company is contacted several times to come and recruit in IIT Kharagpur, I would only reduce the image of IIT Kharagpur in the front of that company. And right now, RTSATL and BTSO are doing separate placement procedures, and IIT Kharagpur is essentially doing placement procedures for all the students.
Rinshul, take a seat. We're done with the